Hola, it's Catherine Keda Maulo, and for today's video, we are going to talk about ethnocentrism and relativism. Ethnocentrism. It is the evaluation of other cultures according to preconceptions originating in the standards and customs of one's own culture. In other words, it is judging another culture solely by the values and standards of one's own culture. It is when one consciously believes that one people's art are the most beautiful, values the most virtuous, and believes the most truthful. Ethnocentric individuals judge other groups relative to their own ethnic group or culture, especially with concern for language, behavior, customs, and religion. These ethnic distinctions and subdivisions serve to define each culture ethnicity's unique cultural identity. According to William G. Sommer, he characterized ethnocentrism as often leading to pride, vanity, beliefs of one's own group's superiority, and contempt of outsiders. Ethnocentric. It is evaluating other peoples and cultures according to the standards of one's own culture. These are people born into a particular culture that grow up absorbing the values and behaviors of the culture will develop a worldview that considers their culture to be the norm or standard. However, since people are accustomed to their birth culture, it can be difficult for them to see the behaviors of people from a different culture from the viewpoint of that culture rather than from their own. Example of ethnocentrism is religious-centric. It is a conviction that a person's own religion is more important or superior to other religions. It constructs claiming a divine association like divine nation, one nation under God, God's own country, God's chosen people, and God's promised land. Cultural relativism. It is the viewing of people's behavior from the perspective of their own culture. Furthermore, it is the principle that an individual person's beliefs and activities should be understood by others in terms of that individual's own culture. Franz Boas is a German-born American anthropologist and a pioneer of modern anthropology. He is considered as the father of American anthropology. Cultural relativism was established and accepted in anthropological research by Boas in the first few decades of the 20th century. He understood culture to include not only certain tastes in food, art and music, or beliefs about religion. He assumed a much broader notion of culture, defined as the totality of the mental and physical reactions and activities that characterize the behavior of the individuals composing a social group collectively and individually in relation to their natural environment, to other groups, to members of the group itself, and of each individual to himself.